Alright, welcome back to Decode Traders Hub. I hope you guys are having a great time. Yeah, yesterday, some trades came around, and some trades like Boom 500 became tricky on some ways I didn't understand. That was my bad. I don't know what I missed yesterday on this Boom 500. But we're going to check it out. So the first entry was a good one. I don't know those who entered the second entry if you were taken out like I was, because first entry it went into sales right here, then it came all the way back into buys. All right. So let's not waste any time. Let's now get into it and see where we got it wrong and what we need to change. All right, now let's pray and start off. Father, we give you praise. We love you. Thank you for yet another day that you have bestowed onto us to check the charts, to get to grab this opportunity to make money online. Thank you for it. Thank you for the signal that you're giving unto us. Thank you for profits that we made yesterday. Those that made losses and have not yet recovered, we know that today you will have them recover their accounts, their losses, and be able to even make profits. But thank you that you're doing this even today in a greater kind of way, in a different kind of manner that you're going to do it unto us. We give you praise and we love you for the profits and for the opportunity that you're giving unto us. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Right. let's now get into this. So crush 500. Yeah, yesterday was a crazy one. We didn't even have any entry in as far as crush 500 is concerned. We did not have any entry. So let's look at crush 500. Alright, so crush 500, just a minute. There, okay. So yesterday, we were waiting for this to break out, but as we were still waiting, it broke out on this other resistance. So that changed everything. That we started to now anticipate this to be our low. Currently, this is our low, our previous higher low. So it went up again, failed to give us a new higher high, according to, of course, H1 right there. Then we saw something like that became like a change of character right there, though not a significant one, but that became a change of character right there. So currently price is heading back to that level, probably to this fair value gap, which it has already gone to, and then later on start to sell. Remember, we were waiting for the sales right here. So price broke out, gave us a breakout on this resistance. Then it went ahead to grab the early seller's stop loss right there. That was liquidity grab right there. So liquidity grab happened two times. This time here, then the second time was again to take those who may have sold early still. So it went all the way back to that order block, and that's how we saw this asset work around this. So as of now, we are on that fair value gap. So what do we need? We can delete this. So we are on this fair value gap. We need it to at least go 50% of it, then we can understand whether we are going to sell or not. But as of now, CCI still showing that we need to go a bit into buys. But remember, if CCI is not aligning with what we have on price action, then we only follow price action. So as of now, CCI seems to be giving us some fake signal. According to H4, we've reached the retracement level, so that tells us that sales are coming in. So M15 should be giving us sales, but it is not. I wonder why. I just wonder why. M30 is actually giving us sales. It's the only one giving us sales, so it's a bit weird. Okay, all right. So now that we know that MH4 we need to sell, M30 we need to sell because of what we have on H4 as a retracement. This will be just a retracement to take us back here, at least grab the liquidity, do the liquidity sweep on that order block, then continue with the buy. That is the reason why I have that right there. So I'll be waiting for something like this. If it chooses to come for the fair value gap, still there are some fair value gaps around that, but this order block is the one likely to give us our buy entry. Alright, so for now it's a no-go for me to make any entries. I will wait for at least to reach at least 50%, and then look at entry. 50% of that fair value gap, and then look at entry. So for now, this is a no-go for me. I can't trade this. So boom 1000. Let's now head over to boom 1000. Sorry guys, my mic had gone off for some reason. I didn't know what was happening, so sorry about that. I've just fixed it. Let me now get back to this. So I was saying boom 1000. So boom 1000, we were looking for that. So we first missed that entry. We missed this entry right here. I was waiting for that to actually make an entry, so I missed it. That's why I didn't share it with the single guys, but that's where we had our perfect opportunity. You know, yesterday's analysis, I had told you we can anticipate manipulation right there, and that's what happened. Price went above here, above this level, so it gave us a manipulation right there. Then later on started to sell. Then this was a retest. We had a weak support right here that was created and was bounced off to 2 times right here and there. If you go to each one, it can be bigger than this. Yeah, so it bounced off. But then when it did this second one, this is where we had our perfect entry right there. We would have entered right there, and then of course our stop loss would have been above, then retest, and then continuation of the trend, which is a sell. Then of course yeah, that was yesterday, so we missed that entry, a perfect entry right there. So I can delete everything now. I don't know what else I've deleted, not sure, but I'll get to know it. It's not that important. So clearly, according to weekly, we still need sells. According to daily, we need sells. According to H4, we have actually now started to see some sell momentum to give us the change of character right here. Yeah, we are oversold according to signal from CCI and RSI right down below. So if we go to if I go to H1, then I'll have to use that as my trend line right there, and that's what I'll be having right about there. That's what I'll be having. So apparently we are within one may say an ascending channel, or yeah, that is an ascending channel because we are looking for, I mean the descending channel because we are looking for this, and then later on sell, So for now we may see fake breakout to come around down below to just reduce this, to come around probably below here or here, and then once it comes here, then it gives us this kind of move from there. So this is something that we can anticipate for now, but what we know is at a later stage we're going to see a breakout to take us all the way up, and then later on we get into sells. That is for sure. So for now it was a matter of trading this within the range or within the channel right there. Of course, if you go to H4, that will be a flag, and we all know that flags tell us a different story, that we should continue with the previous trend. So with that can even mean that we can even see this whole move come alive to take us all the way up there. That is quite challenging. Yeah, it can even take us all the way up there with according to H4. According to H4. Remember, we don't have previous data to use in terms of support and the previous higher highs. So boom 1000, that means we'll be blinded by whatever point of interest is above here, so we can't do anything, just to enter our buys if it gives us an entry, and then just keep taking the profits if we can, because we won't be having any points of interest to actually depend on in as far as looking for TP levels are concerned. So that is it. Two ways: price reach here or never even, or it doesn't even reach here, but then we get into buys. To take us right here, but then there's also a possibility of reaching there, then it does this retest and it fails to continue, but then continues with this very move right here and goes for the second TP right here. So let's now just be ready for whatever comes around. Or there's another third opportunity, third option, for it to react from there and actually get into sales, because most of the time frames are showing us sales. Daily is want sales. H4 we want sales. H1 it's the one that we need buys. According to H1, buys to take us right there, then we start to sell also. M15, it will be of course confirming what H1 is giving us. So according to everything I have here, the buys are coming next. And these buys will take us right about here, and then we sell. So this second TP, we may not see it, but it doesn't mean I can remove it now. I will just leave it, but it's about 30% for this second TP to come around now. This will first come around, this sell, according to H4 and daily time frame. The sell will first come through before we can go for the buy. So for now, let me just actually leave it for now. Yeah, so that's the general thing that I'm looking at right here, right there. All right, that is boom 1000. Let's now head over to boom 500. So boom 500, so this was yesterday's entry. Where was it? I think this was the first one. Yeah, this one here. No, that was the other day. So this was the entry. I gave you the entry. We sold for about an hour or two here, from there to here, and then we retested, went back. We entered more sales here, but it took us out as it kept on going above there. It found weak resistances right there, broke out and continued. It was not even a resistance, it was an order blocker now. It was broken out, tested, and the buys continued. So that's how we messed up yesterday, according to what we saw here. So several things that we learned here that should never happen again. According to, we were still looking for sales according to H4, but then there was no, this was only according to CCI, and something I forgot to actually change. Why? Because on H4 we had already grabbed liquidity on that fair value gap right there. Yeah, so I was still looking for it to continue to the one on H4, and that's where I missed the point. So that is my bad. I didn't focus on H4, I focused on H1. So whereas it was following H1, that's how I missed the point right there. So that was the fair value gap right there, and then change of character right there. That was the breakout to continue with the buy. That's how I missed that. So for now, let's first go to weekly. You know, according to weekly, we want a pullback to go back there, and then we come in with sales. That's what we are waiting for. That's what we were waiting for. Get there, then we enter sales. We enter sales from that point. So according to daily, we have started to see the structure that we actually wanted. It's only that yesterday we missed that one. This is the one that we messed up, so that we can get into clear buys. So right now, according to H4, we are in buys, and we have a change of character right there. But then now I can delete this, delete that. Delete everything right there. Now this is a change of character right here. So if I have that, that means there's this fair value gap left. So price is coming for this. Price is gonna come for this, and then take us again into buys. Yeah, so if we have this right here, it means H1 should be selling. Yeah, it's about to sell. So all we need is sales on H1 and M15 to bring us down below here to grab liquidity on this fair value gap. Then we enter our buys right here. I'll put a limit order right there to enter buys. But as of now, I want to look at sales opportunity. What is left here? This was a fair value gap. There's no other point of interest left up there to grab. That order block is invalid. I don't see price go back to it. So this would tell me that I should be entering my sales right where we are. M5, just a bit skeptical. M1, yeah, M1 says we should be going in for the sell. We should be going in for the sell. Yeah, if we want a sniper entry, that will be a sell. But then, just like I told you guys that these days somehow the lead is tracking, so I would rather enter a sell and don't put a stop loss. I don't advise this if you don't have a big account. Yeah, and if you know you won't be around to monitor your losses, so that probably you know that you can afford to lose 10 and close them immediately when you get into 10, so that if you don't want to use your stop loss like this, so you rather be ready to close them. What have I done? I've closed the trade instead of closing the stop loss. So this is the trade. I should be putting my stop loss all the way above there. Remember, my TP is right here. I will put my TP right there. That is where I want to put my TP. So I'm looking at a 1 to 4 kind of trade right here to take me all here. The reason why I've entered here is one. It's about 2 actually. We have reached there. We had started to sell. This is a previous. This one here is a previous low. This one right here is a previous higher low according to M15, and it was taken out right here. And then we entered into it. We went for the retest. That retest went to that fair value gap. That is the only point of interest we see left back. So we should be getting into sales from there. But then according to M5, we had that other change of character on M5 right there, which means we will go liquidity grab on this fair value gap and continue with the buy according to M5. That is what it means right here. So we are a bit in there. That's why I will be just monitoring my SL manually. When it makes a spike, I don't want it to exceed this level right there. I don't want it to exceed that level right there. But as far as H1 is concerned, the buy is still on. The buy is still on as far as H1 is concerned. The buy is still on. You have to remember that. But the buy to this is, I'm seeing that according to M15, according to CCI. That's the reason why I'm saying the buy is still on. We have a fair value gap there that we grab liquidity on according to H1. And then on top there we have another block that gave us that fair value gap. So we are still a bit tricky. It may still come again to that fair value gap or come to the order block for the buys. For us to see sales on H1. But as of now, where we are according to M15, we need to be selling. So the momentum is what is going to tell us. If I see this consolidate for some reason or another on M5, I will not hold. I will just close my trade right here automatically. That will tell me that what I've seen here on M5 is actually going to continue and give me the buy to take me up there. So I will immediately close if I see some bit of consolidation happen here. Alright, so we'll come back to this later. This is a V25S. So this one, what happened yesterday? Okay, so when we go to weekly, we need sales to take us down below. Daily, we need sales. Yeah, we need sales according to price action, having reached that resistance there. But according to CCI, it's giving us a signal to buy. So we want to see which one is which. So according to H4, we need sales. So that tells us that we want sales. So we are going with H4 and weekly, not daily. Daily we are going with price action. Actually, we are not going with the signal that we are getting on daily for the CCI. No, we are not going with that. So H4, we are looking for sales right there. H1, we need sales still, although there's no momentum. Remember the other day we made money from here, that was on Monday. Then yesterday we were doing a pullback to this level. I want to understand that level. I see it marked. There was an order block on M15. That was an order block on M15 right there. So that's where we saw price react back to, and that's where I had my entry point right there. Those who remember yesterday's analysis, get there or to that fair value gap down below. This was fair value gap here, and then come in with the sales. So it went to the order block. So I can maximize now. Went to the order block and then started to sell yesterday. No, today actually. This was today morning. So it started to sell. But right now as we speak, we've come back to this level. I'm not sure which one is that. Maybe it is according to H1. Let's go to H1. It's a fair value gap on that H1. It's a fair value gap on H1. So it has come back to that fair value gap on H1, tested it. So I can easily delete this, that. Then I want to see what is this. Delete this. This is a resistance. I can also delete it from now. Yeah, so go back to M15. So this is the fair value gap on H1 that we've reacted back to again, but this is just a weak thing for us to focus on. So all we need is now just a pullback. Probably if we use Fib, we can understand where we actually want it, we will anticipate it to come back to. So when we use Fib, then we will know that this is the fair value gap right there. When it gets to that level, we need it to get into sales. Yeah, this is the fair value gap that it will react back to. So reach there, then come in with sales. Remember, we've started lower lows and lower highs, or we've started a downtrend, and that's what we'll be looking at in the meantime as we continue with this sell on V25S. So for now, M15 should be giving us that kind of a buy, but then we don't have an entry. We had an entry here on M5. That is a change of character, so you need a pullback right here. So you need a pullback for you to get an entry, or enter now, put your stop loss below here. Or you can easily wait for the sales right here on this fair value gap according to H1. The choice is yours, but as of me, I will wait for M5 or wait for the entry on that fair value gap to sell this asset. Right, that's it. Let's now head over to V75, V75. V75. So V75, we entered the sell. I think first we entered it here, took me out because of my tight stop loss, then went up and I made another entry, and that's how. Now I made 3 entries. One was a limit order here, and then the first sell right there. So I kept in with the limit order because it didn't have the stop loss. Yeah, the one which had a stop loss was taken out. These entries that I entered were taken out. So the one that had no stop loss kept in, and I closed my profits just about here, I think. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that's the trade right there. I closed it late night before I went to. I don't normally leave running trades when I'm going to sleep. So I closed my trade. I closed my trade right about there manually, not because of a TP. TP is around here. Our TP is around here. So it went up there to give us a retest and then to continue after the breakout right there. So how do we trade it today? So let's look at that. Delete all that. So there was a retest entry. We have a breakout structure, so we need a pullback to the breaker block right there before, and then we continue. That's what we need. That's what we need. And here there's a point of interest that we may see that happen, or even on this level right here. So that can happen right here, or right here. So all we need is to wait and see what will happen. Let me go to M30. Look at which one is this one. Probably no, the one below right there. So we need that. Reach here, then get back up there, and then we enter our sales to continue. So for now, this is a no-go for me. I can't enter any sales for now. So I will wait. I will wait. Now we go to jump 50. We have about 22 minutes. Jump 50. This was a tricky one. I was waiting for it, but the momentum was low, so I couldn't waste time with it. Jump 50. This had a low momentum. Yeah, it had a low momentum yesterday. We wanted this was a change of character, but then the momentum right here was low, so we wanted the pullback. The pullback happened, but still you could sense the low momentum until it actually broke out this M15 order block. Until it gave us that breakout, and then it tested. That's when the momentum now came around, tested that order block right there. That's when the momentum increased a bit, and actually that was already today, I think, and that's when we saw that breakout structure. Now it tested again right there, continued with the buy. So we missed an entry right there, like 2 hours or 3 hours back. That's how we missed an entry right there. when it tested that level. So for now, delete all this. So as we delete all that, go to H1, it's hitting our TP right there. Remember, the unit trend is a buy, so we may actually get a short retracement right here again before we can enter the buys, or we may even continue selling to touch this level right here. So we will have to know which one will reach. So the buy is heading according to H1, then according to H4, still have a long way for the buy to continue. So according to H1, we will get another retest. This retest we can either use fib to get to know where it will actually happen. So probably around that level right there. That can be our point of interest for the retracement. But then remember, down below we have a fair value gap that was never, yes, it was mitigated but not that much according to H4, and also this one was never mitigated. So there's a possibility of this coming all the way down here or down below there before we can get into the buys, just like we want them right here, just like we want them right there, or right here. So two opportunities that we may have to wait for. So here there's this one here, and go into buys right from right there and go into buys like that. Like that. So these are all points of entry, opportunities for us to enter this buy trade that we are still anticipating to head to this very point of interest right up there. But then it has to first go there and then gives us a retest according to H1. That retest is going to be something else. It can continue all the way down, like I've told you, to grab those liquidity down below and give us a fake breakout down below, then later on continue with the buy. So for now, I won't be trading jump. I missed this entry, so I can't trade this asset now. I just have to leave it. It has met a weak resistance up there. It will break it out, it will break it eventually. As of now I won't be trading this. It's gonna come there, it's going to come here and then continue buying according to M15. According to M15, it's going to come here and continue with the buy. Then continue with the buy. Alright, so that is jump 50 for us there. I can't say anything more than that till I have more data at hand that I can use. So as of now, just leave it to play its way through. Jump 25. So the fake breakout is there, but according to daily, the buy is still on. So I told you, I think it was yesterday, this is a symmetrical like last week, this is a symmetrical triangle. it can break either side. So for now it has broken going up. Remember, according to daily we need buys, but then according to weekly we need sells which are not yet confirmed. And clearly I don't know if we have any points of interest we can actually use. We don't have. So according to weekly, that was a break of structure right there. According to weekly, that was a break of structure right about there. Break of structure right there. So we don't have any previous higher high than this. So this is a break of structure. We don't have any more data we can use to anticipate a resistance level or something else. So for now that becomes something to deal with. So how do we now deal with this? Right, so according to weekly we know that this can actually continue all the way up like that, all the way up, and that will be our point of interest, and that will be our TP level right there. But then yes, according to weekly, of course this week started with as a buy. You can see the momentum of it according on the weekly time. For daily we are oversold, meaning the buy is continuing according to daily. So if daily is giving us buys, and clearly you can see the movement of price right here. It's doesn't have enough momentum. Break of structure there, you can see the difference. Break of structure there, break of structure there. So it is already giving us that. So we are in a buy according to H4 and daily, but H4 is overbought. But that doesn't tell us anything unless we see a change of character. So for now we will say this is our previous high. If this is taken out, then we know that it's going to give us a new high and then come test that. That is simple until we get a change of character. So for now this is a no-go for me. Can't trade something like this that has no momentum. And again it has few traders in the market currently. Everyone is skeptical to enter either sell or buy because we don't have any previous data to use. So that's why we are now, this is our all-time high right here, right there. According to what we see on the weekly time frame, that will be our all-time high right there. So that's how it becomes weird for us to make any decisions. So for now this is a no-go for me. Yeah, a high, low high, it needs to come around and give me a low. So it's gonna come down right here and then it gives me a low. Probably we start to see a breakout. So if we see a breakout right down below on this trend line, then one may say now we have started to sell. Yeah, remember I had given us that as an anticipation that price gives us a fake breakout right there and then we start to sell. So if we see something like that right here, then it will be aligning with the analysis. But as of now we have no entry to make at on this very asset. That is on jump 25. All right, jump 10. Jump 10. So weekly, yeah, the buy happened right there, but then now we need sell. That was a pullback that we wanted according to weekly and H1 and daily time frame. So we need now sells. So daily, it's not yet overbought, I mean, but then it has reached our point of interest right there according to price action. So if we go to H4, we are overbought, and we wanted price to get back up there before we can look at sales. It did not, but it reached this TP yesterday. So let's go to H1. It reached that TP, yeah, right there, reached that right there. So now we started to see some sells after that. So I can delete this, delete everything right here. Delete. I can have my trend lines come out on this, have it like that. And that's how I'll be seeing it right there. So it means I'm gonna get into sales anytime from now, but then there's an anticipation of a fake breakout to grab liquidity up there. That's why I had that level right there. There's a fair value gap there, there's another one right here, there's another one right there. So one of those will be a point of interest that price may get interested in before it goes into sales. So this is according to H4 we are selling, H1 we are trying, according to CCI we are trying to look for a buy, but M15 it's already selling, and the reason being it reached the resistance trend line up there, but also it gave us a change of character right there on that level. So that's why we are seeing sells, but we know that anytime from now it's going to get into buys and probably take us right there. Once it goes down below, probably it will take us right there, or right there, or right there, before we can get into sales. Before we can get into sales. So for now, that's what I'll be looking at. So until let's see, of course M15 is selling, so it's going to retest right here on the breaker block, then get into sales. So we know that that is happening very soon. So all we need is to just be patient for that to come around, and you can enter yourself to either take you down below, or you wait for your buyers right here to take you again up. But you know that at a later stage this is a rising wedge, so we will be having the sales to continue with. We'll be continuing with the sales. It's a rising wedge and we break going down below, so we'll be looking for sales at a later stage. All right, I think that's it for today. I don't know if you guys enjoyed the analysis. All I can ask of you is now, if you don't mind, go ahead and like the stream so that YouTube can push us also to grow the community together. So right about now, I want to do a recap and we look at where we started from. So all the way from crash 500, price has reached that level, so all we need is to give us an entry to actually sell this. A second candle of a sell, I'll be entering this asset. So for now, I wait for a sell entry. It has reached the level. All I need is now a sell entry confirmation to enter that. I wanted to enter from that level. Now I need a confirmation to make the entry. Price has reached here on boom 1000. So two things that we need: entry to take us there after this fake breakout, of which we haven't seen actually it reaching overbought yet, but it doesn't need to. It can easily turn from here. So all we need is now an entry from M15, an entry from M15 to take us all the way up. So the buy is coming on boom 1000. Boom 500, my sell is in profits. My sell is in profits. Boom 500. Those who entered with me, congrats on your profits so far. About 20-30 minutes in profits. So let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see. We need it to come down below. We need it to come down below here. So that's what we'll be waiting for. So now, those who have a small account, you can put your stop loss now to bring your stop loss to break even. If you have a small account, if you have hit your target, you can move out. You don't need 10% of your account should be your target. That's what I advise my students. So it's about you, it's upon you to do that. And if you've hit your 10% of your account in profits, you should be moving out as we speak. That is if you have a small account. All right, Volatility 25S. The pullback happened. This is on M5. This is on M5. Can I enter? I think I can, since it is a pullback. Since it is just a pullback, I can, just enter my buy right here, 0.2. Enter my buy here, put my stop loss below my 10 MA, grab that money, short money right there, and then move out. That's what I'll be looking at, about 1 to 3. About 1 to 3 right there. So that's what I'll be looking at on a V25S. Reason why I've put a stop loss there, I don't want to put it down below. It will be bigger than what I'm anticipating to take out as a profit. So I've just squeezed it below my 10 MA, acting it as a what? It's gonna act as a resistance or as a support right here, my moving average. So that's what I'm looking at. So if it comes and goes through the moving average, then it will take me out. But I'm not exceeding that. I don't want to exceed this because I'll be risking a lot if I have to put my stop loss all the way down below. According to M5, there's a possibility of it coming to that order block. That is the only point of interest left. This fair value gap has been taken out on M5, so it's only this order block left. If it decides to come for the order block, then it may take me out. But if it has gone for the fair value gap alone, then it will not come down again. So that's why I have my buy right there. That is on V25S. Those who can't trade this, please, you can wait for a sell right onto that fair value gap on H1. So it's better to wait, because the general trend is a sell according to H4 daily time frame, weekly, and H4. Yeah, so let's wait. V75, I need a pullback from here, so I'm not buying anything unless if it goes back up, then I will enter. But until then, this is a no-go. Oh, there's a point of interest actually where we are. It's a point of interest right there where we are. Alright, so wait and see. If it makes a pullback up there, well, then we can make an entry to continue selling this. Jump 50, pullback here. Still a no-go for me, this one. So I don't want to waste time with it. Can't enter short trade like that either way, so that's a no-go for me. Jump 25, we've realized it is in that rising wedge, or call it a channel if you want to. So all we need is for us to see price failing to break this order block or that anticipated resistance. It's not yet a resistance yet. So if it breaks out that previous high, then we continue with the buys. But if it fails, then we will be anticipating sales to actually break out and continue with the sales. Jump 10, retest right about there, then continue with the sell. You know the drill, you know what we be looking for. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Those who still want to learn how to trade and to analyze, how to analyze like me, you can easily use that number that you're seeing on your screen to actually do what? Subscribe for the May mentorship class and be part of the mentorship program. Otherwise, I want to say thank you for attending today. Hopefully you have 1 or 2 entries according to what we've analyzed. If you follow them up properly and be patient for the moves to mature, you'll be able to make some money today. I want to wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you tomorrow. And of course, like I've already said, don't forget to apply proper risk management, and don't always forget to, don't trade when you are revenging, when you are emotional, not okay. You need to trade when you feel your mind is free, is at peace. Don't trade when you're sick. Don't trade when you need money, when you urgently need money. Please don't trade, because you will mess up. If you trade when you feel like you really need that money, you have an urgent need and you want to get the money from the trade, that's when you mess up and lose the trade and lose everything that you even have on your account, because your mind will not be looking at exactly what the market is showing you. You will be blinded by that urge to get that money as soon as possible. So you rather stay out of the market. When your mind is clear and you're at peace, then you come make analysis and then look at options at your entry confirmations, and then do that. But if you can't do that, then stay away from the charts. and find another solution to get the money if you don't want to lose the whole account in trading. That is a tip for today. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you guys.